What's going on, guys? It's Brad, the average Aussie trucker, back at it once more. Well, sort of. Something a little bit different for you today. We've come to the Lockyer Valley Cultural Centre down here in Gatton, Queensland, and we're going to check out the Transport Museum. So let's go get inside, have a gander at it, and we'll catch us when we get back inside. All right, guys, see you soon.
On the floor, looking up, wanting more. This is so unreal. I must have been wrong, 'cause your love is strong.
Alright guys, so when you walk in, you'll come through a little foyer, come through the cafe here, and then you come to the entrance of the museum. So they're open 7 days a week from 9 AM to 4 PM. Admission is $8 for adults. People with concession cards are $6. Kids under the age of 6 are free, and for local residents, kids under the age of 6 are free. 6 to 15 years are $3. Local residents of the Lockyer Valley, it's free entry. So yeah, definitely come down and have a go at it, have a gander. But yeah, let's go in and have a look ourselves. Righto, guys.
Swept my feet off the ground, left me on the floor. Hard to resist, got me looking.
So here, as you can see, is the Queensland Transport Road Legends placard. They do have a Facebook page, guys. Go out, go and visit them, give them a like.
How could I be so blind? How could I not see? I must have been wrong, 'cause your love is strong for him. Why would it not be? He's always there for you.
original Gateway Bridge guys in Brisbane there at Lynn. the size of that wheel. The Sydney's there. That is insane.
From humble beginnings in the early 1930s, Cyril Anderson's Transport Company grew from a one-truck operation carrying general freight from Brisbane to Toowoomba into Australia's largest and most respected road transport company throughout the 1950s, 60s and 70s. Back then it was a family affair, with Cyril being joined by his brothers Doug and Curly, each drawing on their own set of skills to ensure the fledgling company expanded successfully. Two brothers married two sisters, Cyril to Geordie and Curly to Kush. Both families remain united today, adding to the expansion and growth of the business. Like all successful companies, Western Transport expanded through acquisition and grew as Queensland developed into Australia's industrial powerhouse. Western Transport, Anderson's Agencies, Maranoa Transport, Westco Motors, Great Western, Westco Truck Sales, and Western Oilfields Trucking were the basis of this great organisation. The Western Transport Museum exhibit is dedicated to the achievements and vision of the Anderson brothers and the men and women who worked for the organisation and became part of the extended family of employees who helped pioneer road transport in Eastern Australia. In 1961, as oil wells were being developed, Western Transport handled its first big rig move to Mornington Island via Normanton. A convoy of over 40 vehicles transported the rigs and equipment to set up this enormous venture. Western's first rig trucks were two NR Mack Prime movers, using trailers with a roller mounted on the rear. Eventually, the company imported a Kenworth rig truck and a Fruhoff trailer from Canada, which was joined by two B81 Mack long bed rig trucks from America. Western Oilfields Trucking operated a fleet of B81s and DM800 Mack trucks, which were in constant use throughout the 1960s and the 1970s. To work for Western Transport and drive one of the well-maintained fleet of B-model Macks was something every driver aspired to. At its peak, the Western Transport fleet of trucks and trailers exceeded 500 units, the largest in Australia. The company serviced every mainland state with depots in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth and Darwin. The large fleet of vehicles was serviced and overhauled in a modern workshop facility in Toowoomba that was managed by Cyril and Curly's cousin Keith Anderson. The workshop employed over 100 mechanics, fitters and spray painters. The company employed and trained hundreds of local apprentices. Through its hubs in Toowoomba and Brisbane, freight was carried to every coastal and western town in Queensland. There wasn't a town or city in Queensland that was not familiar with the famous Western Transport Yellow Max. General freight was taken to these towns at a time when rail services were slow and inadequate. Backloading from the west generally was in the form of wool bales and empty 44 200-litre fuel drums and 18-gallon beer kegs. Almost all fuel was carted in drums up until the mid-1960s. The opening of Western Transport's modern freight handling terminal in Montague Road, South Brisbane, and the expansion of its Toowoomba depot in the late 1950s ensured the company was well placed to efficiently handle large volumes of goods for dozens of destinations. Western Oilfields Trucking and Western Heavy Haulage carried equipment to open up the Jackson oil and gas fields in Western Queensland, as well as wells at Corumba and Inaminka. Power station turbines and equipment were transported to Gladstone and to Callide Power Station from Brisbane and the Gladstone Wharf. Western Transport carried all of the pipe for the 300-kilometre Mooney to Brisbane gas oil pipeline. Road trains were introduced by Westerns in the early part of the 1960s, hauling general freight, oil fields equipment, mining equipment and pipelines. In August of 1972, Western Transport was sold to Bells Brothers from West Australia, closing an important chapter in the development of road transport.
So what I just showed you there, I believe was plaques of drivers that used to work for Western Transport. There's a lot of names. A lot of names. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Shows you all the routes. So, Queensland route, blue. So blue was all the Queensland routes. It's the network they used to take. The interstate routes are all the red. All down there, through there, across there, all up there, and of course over. And the oil rigs they had are all the little blue dots flashing. That is insane. So I'm not sure if you'll see what that says, but it says Western Transport sister companies, Anderson agencies imported and distributed Peugeot vehicles to Australia during the 1950s and 60s, along with Jaguar, Citroen, Simca and Studebaker. Later, the company introduced Mazda vehicles to Australia as well as TCM forklifts. Peugeot 403 station wagons were used by the company to provide daily passenger services from Toowoomba via Mooney, Westmar and St George. These robust vehicles, reliable wagons also delivered newspapers daily to towns along the border, including Texas, Olangarara, sorry if I butchered that, and Stanthorpe. Most nights there were at least 3 passengers and of course the driver and about half a ton of luggage and parcels loaded into these remarkable wagons. As service grew, Peugeots gave way to Mitsubishi Rosart bus, which were imported by Cyril Anderson for assessment by Westco Motors. Maranoa Coaches, a division of Western Transport, operated the coach service. The Western Transport also used Peugeot 304 utilities for local delivery work, and also pilot vehicles for long wide hauls, which we would have seen on that little video. You saw the little pilot vehicle pulling out in front of the truck. But this is one of the cars that have gone up. As you can see, top of the left. We've got a 1953 Leland Comet. Right there. Have a go at these seats, man. How these fellas drove these things, I'll never understand. Makes you definitely think about what you're driving these days, isn't it? There's your aircon right there. Right there and there, and good old 260 aircon. Okay, so if you guys are interested, you can actually buy the DVDs from the museum here. It's probably best you come in to buy them, but if you can't, just give them a phone call. They'll take payment over the phone. They can post them out to you. But yeah, so yeah, we'll get back in and have a look. So for those that might not know, wondering what this is, an old, I believe a turn signal. Instead of having the blinkers, I used to just flick that up. Alright guys, so as you've seen, we just walked up to Lights on the Hill Truck Memorial. Out of respect for the family and the souls that were lost on the road, I'm not going to put any names or anything up. I just wanted to come up and have a look. I'm hoping that I can actually do the Lights on the Hill convoy this year, but we'll see how it works. But yeah, it's pretty interesting place to come up. Yeah, Lights on the Hill, Queensland Truck and Coach Drivers Memorial. Drivers who have lost their lives while working. So, and as you would have seen on the plaque before, it's a dedication. This wall has been erected to remember the truck drivers who are no longer with us. Truck drivers are a team of men and women who work 24/7 to keep our country moving. Without trucks on the road, there would be no items in shops, fuel at service station, plus no other supplies. We, the public, need every day to survive and enjoy life. Please support our truck drivers. We need them. Without trucks and the drivers, Australia stops. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, we're going to have a look around. As I said, I'm not going to put any of the names up or anything, so sorry to anyone that wanted to see them, but yeah, out of respect for the families, I'm not going to put their names up. But yeah, I would definitely suggest to come up and check it out. One thing I didn't know, Travis Sinclair's actually a patron. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Just a plaque about the wall. Alright guys, I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully you all enjoyed this little bonus video. If you did and you haven't already, please consider subscribing. If you did like it, please leave a like down below, and we'll catch us in the next one. Alright guys.